Hello people, and welcome back to the factory. That's right, the factory where the hot takes are cooked up and served back to you, right back in your face, yeah.
Flipped off. We're flipped off like pancakes.
6 months late for Pancake Day, or 6 months early, depending on which way you look at it.
Could you spin all the way around? Oh, that's a decent one. Oh, no, we made it look easy. I feel pretty dizzy now.
Very easy. Got that extra inch, don't I? So maybe there's that. Just
we spoke about that. Let's do a poll. Would you rather be 6'2" or 5'11"? General consensus was 6'1".
Anyway, should we get on to the first hot take? Bring back to football, because that's what you're all here for. And it comes from Lakers 2020 NBA champs. Not football, but a football hot take. So you're into all sports. So
you will pick one sport and you will stick to it. We had a rugby-related hot take this week, and that is banned.
Yeah,
all right, you're bored.
Not about that.
You've been reported. I've muted you. Rugby, Tory sport. Let's move on.
PSG will apparently win the UCL, according to the Lakers supporter. I'm going to assume he means this season. I think that's what he means.
He probably means in the face of signing Mauro Icardi, they now stand a better chance, right? That's what's made PSG topical again at the end of this transfer window. I'll tell you what, I do think they're a much more well-balanced squad now than they were last year. Thomas Tuchel off and naming 5 subs last year because he couldn't really fill the bench. They do have a lot of promising youngsters, and some of the new acquisitions might be blocking their path to the first team. We saw a few departures, didn't we? And Nkunku being one. Really liking Nkunku. He's gone to RB Leipzig, I believe. Yeah. However, got to say, their acquisitions, and seeing as they've posted a net spend of plus 3.5 mil, have been pretty bloody good. Leonardo has had a very good first season back as sporting director. Diallo for 28 mil, what a bargain. He's been playing centre half, hasn't he, next to Marquinhos. I think Thiago Silva might have been injured at the start of this campaign. So very good acquisition, very flexible defender. Idrissa Gueye already maxing out the tackles. Of course. 3.5 tackles, already top dog in that regard. So they've got much more secure base of midfield. Rabiot's in a lot of defensive work. They've replaced that, admittedly, with a 29-year-old. Rabiot's 24, but probably takes someone who's 5 years older, if they're not a troublemaker. And it's got to be said, Mauro Icardi does make them a more threatening proposition. He's 26, so Edison Cavani has, 5-6 years on him? I think Cavani's actually 32. They've always profiled pretty similarly. Both very decent creators as well as kind of out-and-out goal scorers. I think in their creative pomp, both posting over 1 key pass a game, 1 to 1.3, which is pretty good.
Icardi was that creative,
considering they do all their best work inside the box. Both not shot monsters, kind of 3 to 4 shots when they're at their best, but most of them, I'd say at least 2 to 2.5 coming inside the box. So an ideal replacement. They've got him on loan. They can pay 70 million for him next year. He signed that contract extension at Inter so that PSG don't have as much room to manoeuvre with the price and whatnot. But it feels like it's very good for all parties. He must be chomping at the bit for the chance to show he is a thoroughbred striker again after doing a Rabiot at Inter.
Yeah, I think this is actually a relatively good shout. I don't think PSG are favourites. I don't even necessarily think they're second favourites. I think you've got to look at Man City. You've got to back Liverpool as well, probably to make the semis again this season. And Barcelona as well. I think they've obviously improved. They haven't had a great record in recent years, but they're always going to be up there, especially if Messi's on form. You just can't write them off. So I think I'd put them around the 3rd or 4th favourite kind of bet.
But to win the Champions League, I think defensively they still might be a little bit fragile.
But they've upgraded in the goalkeeper position, I feel. Keylor Navas, obviously a bit older, but very Champions League proven, as it were.
King Keylor.
King
Keylor. Put a bit of respect for his name.
Of course. The king of the 2014 World Cup, as we all know. But and then players like Timo Kehrer, who can play at right back and centre back. Obviously, Diallo's a good signing. I don't know. There's clearly work to do. Maybe left back is a little bit of a weaker position for PSG. But when it comes down to Champions League knockout stages, I think if they've got a fully fit squad, they're so dangerous. I think they would have beaten United last year had Neymar been fit. There's always certain little things that go your way or don't go your way, and I think there's just a few more players in that squad who can make differences in those big games, especially in the midfield.
Recently, have they? In the latter stages. I think they should be aiming for a semi-final. Progress, just get past that quarter-final stage. That would represent solid progress.
But I think that's actually an alright shout for a hot take, personally. But
We actually got some all right stuff into that.
Yeah.
Hot takes. Oh, did we mention Wandanara?
No.
Before we move on to our second serving of hot takes, if you're not subscribed to the channel, then click that button as displayed on screen now. Turn on notification bells and you'll never... Bells? Bell.
One, just one
not
bell.
Plural, only one bell there. And you'll never miss a terrible football opinion from the community you're then part of. Okay, let's move on straight into at the great Moll. Or Molly, Hans Molly Man. Cristiano Ronaldo deserves no rewards for last season. Players like Salah, Mane, Bernardo Silva and Sterling had far superior seasons.
Ooh.
I waffled in PSG, so it's your turn.
Okay, well, I feel like this has probably come in light of the nominations for the FIFA The Best Awards, whereby Messi, Ronaldo and Van Dijk have been nominated, much in the same way as they were for the UEFA Men's Player of the Year award, I believe. Yeah, there's just no variety, is there?
My FIFA.
So in that sense, maybe you'd back Van Dijk maybe to scrape that award, although I'd argue maybe Messi deserves it more. But anyway, that's irrelevant to this, because what we're saying, well, what was saying is that Ronaldo shouldn't be in that top three, I assume, and players like Sterling, Bernardo Silva, Salah, Mane deserve to be there ahead of them. Obviously, Ronaldo in 2018-19 did drop off a bit. I still think he had a pretty excellent season though. 21 goals, 8 assists in Serie A, in a Juve attack which wasn't as effective as it was maybe the previous season. Maybe it has something to do with that, I'm not sure. But still, goal involvement every 90 minutes is excellent. However, by his standards, not so much. If you look at kind of the shot numbers he was producing in his last couple of seasons at Real Madrid, I think his final season at Real Madrid, 7 shots a game. That dropped to about 5.5 at Juve, although his creative numbers and his dribbling numbers did go up a little bit. 6 goals and 2 assists in the Champions League as well, with 5 of those goals in the knockout stages, the only goals that Juve did score in the knockout stages. So he was still kind of on that kind of talismanic form in the Champions League, just Juve didn't get beyond that stage of the quarterfinals, obviously knocked out by Ajax. But this is where the problem lies. It's like these awards are usually awarded to players who have not only gone above and beyond their kind of usual kind of level, or at least they're excelling at the top of their, at the peak of their powers, and they're also playing in teams at the peak of their powers. Hence why Van Dijk has been nominated for so many awards, because he has kind of marked himself out as Europe's best defender in a team which has won the Champions League, made the final the season before. But then when you look at Juve, it's like they went out of the Champions League quarterfinals, they won Serie A, for the whatever 8th time or whatever, but they didn't win anything else, and that's the first time that Juve haven't done the domestic double since 2013-14. So by the kind of standards that these kind of awards are based on, usually at least from what we've seen, don't really see how Ronaldo is more outstanding than other players in that Liverpool side, especially the attacking players, obviously Salah and Mane.
Wow. How about this? This isn't going to win me any friends. I want your opinion on this.
No.
If we're saying that these awards represent the very best of kind of each position, you're the elite player in that position, would you put Ronaldo, who we probably classify as a number 9 at this point, in the top 3 number 9s in the world? I'm thinking Lewandowski, I'm thinking Harry Kane, I'm thinking Luis Suarez.
It's difficult.
Him and Luis Suarez probably on an even keel at this point, because Suarez had a down season last year, although still scored more goals.
Yeah.
If someone offers you Lewandowski or Ronaldo at this point,
got to take Lever.
I can hear the comments reeling.
33 XG last year, wasn't it, for Lewandowski, which is outrageous.
Underperformed by what, 7 goals?
Something like that, maybe even more. So
Then answer me. Who would you take?
Who would I take? What, over Ronaldo and Lever?
No. Who? Yeah. Well. Yeah. Would you put Ronaldo in the top 3 number 9s?
Probably not. Like De Ligt hasn't even been considered in this conversation. Captain Ajax at
number
19.
9. De Ligt.
No, not
Reinvent
number 9.
Himself.
But in this whole the best awards and all these awards.
He certainly didn't look like he was the best when he's wasn't watching Hervé Lozano run about 15 yards behind him in that game against Napoli. You missed it. You're on holiday. He's been getting battered by the Juve fans.
Oh, has he? Really?
Yeah.
Oh well, there you go.
De Ligt's the best number 9 in world football.
There you go. There's your answer. So after that show, we're going down to the basement for another show.
Dig his hairline.
Oh, there you go. Another cheap dig at his hairline. Never going to end. But yeah, we hear that he's feeling quite passionate, riled up. He's a
lovely bloke.
He's also about to embark on a mission to eat a Big Mac in less than 2 minutes or something like that. I don't know, some bullshit like that. So
we're paying him for apparently. So.
Hello, welcome down to the basement. Well, I actually always think it looks more like a front room, but I'm down here. My Cubs and Hamill have sent me down here, and I'm here with a slightly different hot take this week. It's less of a hot take, more a defense of FD, because we've had a lot of criticism recently. You see it under every video. FD don't know what they're talking about. This is wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. And yes, we're not saying that we're fountains of all knowledge, but I think we deserve a little bit more respect. I know we've got things wrong in the past, obviously topical with Joe getting Timo Pukki pretty wrong so far. Bernardo Silva and Pat, I still don't really understand that, if I totally am honest with you. Jack Wilshere, future England captain from Dave Jackson. Just ignore him when it comes to Arsenal at times. That's the name of the game. It's quite difficult to be accurate with all of them. You know, I also made the error of calling Raheem Sterling Rashford on a live stream, which I'll never live down. But that was a pretty iconic moment, so I'm not too bothered about that. But I'm here to defend FD and say all the times that we have got stuff right. So the 18-19 predictions video, top 10 predictions for this year. Pat included Jose Mourinho to get fired, Roma to miss out on the Champions League, Arsenal to win the Europa League, which they got to the final of. Yes, he got some things wrong. Morata to bang, he predicted, although he's doing very well at Atletico Madrid now. Depay to get a big move, that looks like it could happen at any moment, and he expected Pochettino to be transferred. But, you know, on this year's video, which I wrote, which could be any member of the team, it doesn't have to be me, but I wrote it, and there was so many comments being like this, you know, Football Daily are going to get it wrong, all wrong again. RB Leipzig to finishing above. Dortmund, I already said they're already 3 points clear. OGS to be fired, looks like it could happen at any point. Barcelona to win the Champions League, I think they've got a pretty good shout. So everyone just ease up with reacting to our statements at times. I think people take it a bit too personally if we insult your club. It's nothing personal against you. We are just paid to have an opinion, and sometimes it's not going to be the same as yours. But that is football, that is life. The best example I can give though is on the 10th of March, we put out a scout report, said 5 ways to turn Man United into champions, and the fifth point, got it out in the end, was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer cannot be hired. How's it turned out, Man United fans? 1 clean sheet in 19, 3 wins in last 16, only once won by over 1 goal once since March. But yet on that video, we're getting slated in the comments. I had over 1,500 dislikes. Joe Tomlinson said it was an outrage. And in fairness, we're not advocating for Solskjaer to lose his job. We're not, you know, trying to be the Grim Reaper in this case. But it hasn't necessarily gone to plan after that early rise, and sometimes we do have good stats available to us and we can make quite informed predictions. So maybe don't just let your club alliances come into your thinking and cloud your judgment too much. So yes, we'll get some things wrong, we'll get some things right, but don't get too upset either way. It's just football, it's just opinions. So yeah, less trolling, more respect, and yeah, keep on giving your opinions, but don't get angry about it. Don't get aggressive. Don't, you know, make it personal. Don't say, Doogie, you look like Theresa May after 6 months of chemo, because that was offensive, and I didn't appreciate that. Anyway, back upstairs. See you later.
Thanks for that, Doogie. Passionate as always. Sam Goz has the non-footballing hot take this week.
That's why I spat then. I'm not spitting on Sam Goz's name. If you gozed on someone, you spat on them.
Sam Goz has said that otters are the cutest animal.
Stupid. Not even the cutest things in the sea. That's baby seals.
Oh yeah, good shout.
Baby monkey. They're baby seals. And then, have you ever heard of a fennec fox? Huge ears.
No.
Lovely auburn colour. Yeah, sensational animals. Red pandas.
Yeah, red pandas. You did show me them just before we came up here. They're ridiculous. They are ridiculous. I think people get carried away with otters, right? Because you know, there's the whole thing of like,
of it spinning, isn't there?
There's that, and then there's also the kind of, you know, the little funny fact of like otters hold on to each other while they're asleep so they don't float apart. So it's like, oh, isn't that cute? It is cute.
They hold hands, don't they?
Yeah, they hold hands. That is cute, but at the same time, I don't think that fact should alone make them the cutest animal. I think there's. Yeah, I think that's just, I think people overplay that a little bit. Yeah. You know, I think there's plenty of fun facts about other animals, you know.
Monkeys hold hands and they throw shit at people.
Yeah, so. Which is pretty cute. Pretty jokes at least. For me, the Slow Loris video where he gets handed a little cocktail umbrella stick and then he's just like holding it above him. Put it on screen now. There's also a video where the guy's like tickling his armpits and he's just like that. And then like he stops and he's like...
Isn't it that video where it's like, Isn't it one of the explanations for that video like, oh, he's actually like mortified. The animal's actually
Oh, really?
really scared.
I don't know.
And it's just a massive like, we've misinterpreted it wrong. Like, he's not saying tickling my armpits, he's literally saying, leave me alone! Do you know what James Wayne said on the way up? Chinchillas. They're just rats with a good fucking haircut.
Nah.
So what we're saying, chinchillas,
Down.
otters.
I think otters are up there, but they're just not. They're not quite on the level.
Europa League.
They're Europa
Baby
League,
seal.
top 6.
Red panda.
Red panda.
What's your actual suggestion?
I'm saying slow loris. I'm saying slow loris, but we can put the panda and slow loris around the same level. You know, they can, it can be like Liverpool and City. You know, just like.
Everything's got to be a football analogy.
Yeah. It's a football program
show,
after all.
Yeah. And after all that, that's the end.
That's the end, yeah.
So let's leave this godforsaken green screen.
Where else did they go? What's going on FD and EFT that's exciting at the moment?
Well, if you enjoyed that, you're going to need an antidote to the silliness, aren't you? So go and check out Transfer Review. Sam Obaseki making his 2nd appearance. Or 3rd overall, 2nd of this season. Yeah. And of course, Top 10s, XIs. You've got some stuff coming up, haven't you?
Yeah, something in the pipeline. I'm going to keep it secret for now because, but yeah, just think, if you're a fan of non-league vlogs, there's something bigger and better coming. But
does that
keep
mean
an eye out for
keep
that.
it secret, or am I?
Yeah.